This is the beautiful thing about these videos. You have to watch one to get one. Anyway, this is Anthony. His fire is fizzling out. Just like a prom.
Prom.
Yeah. After, I guess, I don't know. That's how they showed on 90210, like after, like the end of it or whatever. And it just fizzled out. Or this is the part in Return of the King when one of the 59 endings, it just fizzles out after like the fourth one. Like, did we really have to see Aragorn sing? It was a cool looking tree, and it was nice seeing Liv Tyler again, but really? Like, why was no ending to Treebeard? That would have been a cool, have the Ents marching again and then saying farewell, and then, do that joint collective of them dispatching. But anyway, Anthony, what happened to your fire?
It died.
It died. How did it die?
I didn't put enough sticks on it.
You didn't put enough sticks on it. Get some more sticks. There's some sticks.
I know. I could easily rebuild it.
You want to do it again?
Sure.
All right. Anthony's going to build another fire. In case you're curious, it just so happens that, yes, I do have another story to tell. We could talk about the Sneetches. That's what we call a decent segue, folks. The Sneetches. The smoke is back. This week on the Sneetches. That was my radio voice. Better move so you can see the fire, sorry. Now, the star-belly Sneetches had bellies with stars. The plain-belly Sneetches had none upon theirs. Yay, Anthony got the fire going again. Who let the fire out? Anthony. Anthony. I say Anthony. Anthony. That was bad. Those stars once so big, they were really so small, you might think such a thing wouldn't matter at all. But, because they had stars, all the star-belly Sneetches would brag.
Even tiny fires are hot.
We're the best kind of Sneetch on the beaches. With their snoots in the air, they would sniff and they'd snort. We'll have nothing to do with the plain-belly sort. And whenever they met some, when they were out walking, they'd hike right on past them without even talking. When the star-belly children went out to play ball, could a plain belly get in the game? No, not at all. You could only play if your bellies had stars, and the plain-belly children had none upon theirs. When the star-belly Sneetches had frankenfurter roast, or picnics or parties or marshmallow toast, they never invited the plain-belly Sneetches. They left them out cold in the dark of the beaches. They kept them away, never let them come near, and that's how they treated them year after year. But then one day, it seems, while the plain-belly Sneetches were moping and doping along on the beaches, just sitting there wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped in the strangest of cars. "Me friends," he announced in a voice clear and keen, "my name is Sylvester McMonkey McBean, and I've heard of your troubles. I've heard you unhappy, but I can fix that. I'm the fix-it-up chappie. I've come here to help you. I have what you need, and my prices are low, and I work at great speed, and my work is 100% guaranteed." Then, quickly, Sylvester McMonkey McBean put together a very peculiar machine, and he said, "You want stars like a star-belly Sneetch? My friends, you can have them for $3 each. Just pay me your money and hop right aboard." So they clambered inside. Then the big machine roared, and it clonked, and it bonked, and it jerked, and it burked, and it bopped them about, but the thing really worked. When the plain-belly Sneetches popped out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon stars. Then they yelled at the ones who had stars at the start,
We're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. We're all just the same now, you snooty old smarties, and now we can go to your Frankenfurter parties. Good grief!
We're on the ones who had stars at the first.
We're still the best Nietzsches, and they are the worst. But now how in the world will we know
They all frowned.
if which kind is what, or the other way round?
Then up came McBean with a very sly wink, and he said,
Things are quite as bad as you think. You don't know who's who. That is perfectly true. But come with me, friends. You know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best Nietzsches on beaches, and all it will cost you is $10 each.
Belly stars are no longer in style, said McBean.
What you need is a trip through my star-off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars, so you won't look like Sneetches who have them on theirs.
And that handy machine, working very precisely, removed all the stars from the tummies quite nicely. Then, with snoots in the air, they paraded about, and they opened their beaks and they let out a shout.
We know who is who, now there isn't a doubt. The best kind of Sneetches are Sneetches without.
Then, of course, those with stars all got frightfully mad. To be wearing a star now was frightfully bad. Then, of course, old Sylvester McMucky McBean invited them into his star-off machine. Then, of course, from then on, as you probably guessed, things really got into a horrible mess. All the rest of that day, on those wild, screaming beaches, the fix-it-up chappie kept fixing up Sneetches off again, on again, in again, out again. Through the machine they raced round and on again, changing their stars every minute or two. They kept paying money, they kept running through, until neither the plane nor the star bellies knew whether this one was that one, or that one was this one, or which one was that one, or what one was who. Then, when every last cent of their money was spent, the fix-it-up chappie packed up and he went. And he laughed as he drove in his car up the beach.
They never will learn. No, you can't teach a Sneetch.
But McBean was quite wrong, I'm quite happy to say, that the Sneetches got really quite smart on that day. The day they decided that Sneetches are Sneetches and no kind of Sneetch is the best of the beaches. That day all the Sneetches forgot about stars, and whether they had one or not upon those. Alright. 7 minutes and 48 seconds. We got time for one more?
Sure.
The Zax? Alright, I'm going to do the Zax really quick. Zax. Grab your snacks. One day, making tracks in the prairie or pracs, came a north-going Zax and a south-going Zax. And it happened that both of them came to a place where they bumped. There they stood, foot to foot, face to face. Look here now, the north-going Zax said. I say, you are blocking my path, you are right to my way. I'm a north-going Zax, and I always go north. Get out of my way now, and let me go forth. Who's in whose way? Snapped the south-going Zax. I always go south, making south-going tracks. So you're in my way, and I ask you to move, and let me go south in my south-going groove. Then the north-going Zax puffed his chest up with pride. I never, he said, take a step to one side, and I'll prove to you that I won't change my ways if I have to keep standing here 59 days. And I'll prove to you, yelled the south-going Zax, that I can stand here in the prairie of Prax for 59 years, for I live by a rule that I learned as a boy back in south-going school. Never budge, that's my rule. Never budge in the least, not an inch to the west, not an inch to the east. I'll stay here, not budging, I can and I will, if it makes you and me and the whole world stand still. Well, of course the world didn't stand still. The world grew. In a couple of years, the new highway came through, and they built it right over those two stubborn Zax and left them there standing unbudged in their tracks. And that's what happens. The Zax bypass.
Bye.
That's Anthony's fire pass. And this is Gonzo. Cowabunga. That's Ninja Turtles. That was a car. There's Anthony's fire.